A Polish expression translates as not my circus, not my monkeys. It means not my problem. Redditors, what other great expressions do you know in another language? One I heard in Finland that is said specifically to children who are being stubborn. Either you'll do IT, or you'll cry and do IT. Our first sergeant used to tell us, you can cut the grass, or you can cut the grass angry. Either way, you're still going to be cutting the grass. As I can recall, the grass was mostly sand and pine needles. Frank Skinner was on QI and he recalled a Greek proverb that translated to there is trouble in the gypsy village, basically meaning, who gives a crap. It's a little more like tell me something I don't already know, but yeah, it's a not caring vibe. Not funny, but I like it. From Russian in times like these, it helps to remember there have always been times like these. I'm not Russian and my experience of the Russian people has been a bit limited, but this is exactly what I found the Russian sense of humor to be like. I think it's hilarious. Smakna som bacon. Denedelt Norwegian. Taste is like the butt. It's divided. It means that different people like different things. We also have det finnes ikke dårlig vær, bare dårlig klær. There is no bad weather. There are only bad clothes. I guess it's pretty obvious what it means. Sort of says something about our climate, too. Hahaha, yeah, we have that in Swedish too, but it's smakna som bacon, delad. The only problem is that often people say it without the delad, split divided, part here. So basically I grew up wondering what the frick people meant when they said taste is like the butt. Danish slang for a woman on their period is, there are communists in the fun lost house. In French it's, les Anglais sont en ville, the English are in town. The Dutch phrase es nacht zien held, es ochtend zien held translates roughly to hero at night, hero in the morning. It basically means get plastered at night and don't be uppy about the hangover when you wake up. There is a Korean expression for coming up with a solution that is no solution at all. It translates as roughly, you got a cat to watch your fish. In Finnish a similar idiom is goat guarding the field of cabbage. The Russian phrase for doing nothing or wasting time translates literally to knocking pears out of a tree with one's dong. Australia has some great expressions. They are in English but can be ambiguous to any native English speaker. One of my favorites is flat out like a lizard drinking, which literally means you're extremely busy. Oh man, what the frick is with Australians and ambiguous idioms. I never know whether to grin or nod solemnly. Koji kurik gledas. It's Bosnian for which dong are you looking at, generally used in reference to crappy drivers and people not paying attention. There's a Danish saying that goes, a thief thinks every man steals. I really like that one, but we actually have a lot of good expressions here in Denmark. In Spanish we use that too. El ladrón hace todas de su condición. Yiddish. Hakim nish konchanik equals don't bang on my tea kettle equals don't bother me. When you wanna say someone is ugly you say nisht kimits and chulin equals don't visit in my dreams. It's amusing how you have the same word for kettle as us Poles. It's spelled zajnik here. In Finnish, when you do something in a greatly idiotic and or inefficient way, you can say that they climbed up the tree butt first. This is my favorite so far. It gets the point across perfectly, and it's a great mental image. And boca cerrada no entran moscas, Spanish for a closed mouth swallows no flies. In other words, STFU if you don't know what you're talking about. Some other Spanish ones. No te metas con Samson a las patadas. Roughly, don't enter a kicking contest with Samson. So, don't bite off more than you can chew. Mas se bel diablo por viejo. Poor Diablo, the devil knows more because he's old and because he's the devil. Old people are crafty. Non cpu aggrava vir la botpina. E la moglia braca. Italian for you can't have the wine cask full and your wife drunk. Basically the equivalent of you can't have your cake and eat it. 2. A Romanian equivalent would be it's not possible to have a dong in your butt and your soul in heaven. Nu se potsi cupula in cursi cu suflachal in rai. Since there's so many Russian expressions here, I'll add my own. Never heard it used by anyone else, but this is a favorite of my dad when something goes wrong makes him angry surprised. Jebala sobakavaka. Translated it means the dog fricked the wolf. Pronounced jebala sobakavaka. I like that sayonara, Japanese, used to mean goodbye, literally translates to if it must be so. You use it when you're not going to see the other person for a while. In Scotland, we have Monia Mickle Max a Muckle, which literally means lots of small things make a big thing. It's used pretty much the same way look after the pennies, and the pounds will take care of themselves is, we're pretty tight here. In Russian, it goes something like, "Не виси лапшу на уши," don't put noodles on my ears. It basically means stop lying to me. Making blue in German means being lazy. The reason is that it took so long to make blue dye the chemists would just sit around and wait for the reaction to occur. Therefore if you're making blue you're just sitting around not doing anything. The British, or at least the English, use the phrase higgledy-piggledy when describing something that is messy or disordered. For example, I couldn't find my blue shoes because the wardrobe is higgledy-piggledy. I have no freaking clue how that translates into other languages. French Canadian stuff. Habillé comme la chienne Jakes. Dressed like Jax B. Dressed poorly. Amanché pour vilatard. Equipped to stay up all night. Very well endowed. When speaking about a male, elle a du monde au balcon. She's got people on the balcony. Busty. Cheer des tax. Crapping staples. Being very nervous or afraid of something. Changer 4 trences pour un pièce. Changing 4 quarters into a buck. Coming back to the same thing. Parler dans el casse. Talking in the helmet. Yelling angrily at someone, giving someone crap. Syrup de poteau. Post syrup. Maple syrup not made from maple water. Fair de. Being rough. Said of something ugly. I'm Polish and haven't ever heard or read anything like that. These are more common, though, somewhat related. My world. My crayons equals own opinion. A scythe met the rock equals someone has found a match. Grandmothers like to tell their grandchildren, do not sit on the stonework or you'll catch a wolf. Meaning unknown. If you're unconcerned with something, you can say it's flying around your dong. A popular phrase says, in a place where 6 female cooks cook, there's nothing to eat. The meaning, if too many people try to do one task, the task won't be done. If one drinks way too much, he's drunk like a guard on Corpus Christi. A person who accidentally omits good aspects while omitting bad ones will pour out a child with the bath water. In the moment of death, a person kicks the calendar. Grandma's warning you mentioned isn't really a saying. It's an old conviction that sitting on a cold surface may cause a bladder infection. Wolf is a pretty old euphemism for it. I heard the one about circus and monkeys quite often. Usually when people gossip about horrors on the other's projects and are blissfully happy, it's not their responsibility to deal with this mess. Have a few Dutch ones. Meerenica and sucker equals someone who pays too much attention to detail. Boter op je hoofd hebben. To have butter on your head equals also being guilty. Dokun jejif opinman. You can imbibe some poison to that equals you can be sure of that. Dat slaat alzien tang op in varken. That hits like pliers on a pig equals that doesn't make any sense. Een open deur intrapen. To kick down an open door equals to do something that's already been done or say something that's already said. Obvious. De kogel door de kerk laten gaan. Having the bullet pass through the church equals announcing a big decision. And here a few more specially for Reddit. De cat uit de boom kijken. To watch the cat out of the tree equals staying passive. De cat in the donkernigepen. To pinch the cat in the dark equals sneakily doing something you wouldn't do in broad daylight. De cat op het spek binden. To tie the cat to the bacon equals to tempt someone. I could go on but that'd be weird. Nicht alles haben vier Beine. German for not all asses have 4 legs. Komma nicht alles haben vier Beine. FTFY. WAAKUU Roxina. I'll make you comfortable. It's a Somali phrase meaning you will knock the person unconscious in a single blow. The Irish language has so many expressions perfect for this thread. Is minnick a bris bail dunia shrone means it's generally a person's mouth that gets his nose broken. When talking about how one idiot recognizes another, you can say aithni and sirogale, which means one earwig recognizes another. There is also a play on words in the phrase nileon tointin, mardu thointin fein, which means there is no sore butt like your own sore butt. This is a play on the phrase nileon tintin, mardu thintin fein, which means there is no hearth like your own hearth. or there's no place like home. There's also poke bothoin, meaning kiss my butt. That's the limit of my Irish now for one night. That last one is where the band The Pogues got their name from, hence their album Pogues Mahone, which is the Anglicanization of the Celtic phrase. In Russian we have a saying Odin Rasny Pidoras. Literal translation is once don't make an F. Context, try new things. The translation I came up with, one time gay, it's okay. One of the most beautiful ones I know is in Arabic. We use this expression only in Lebanon, maybe Syria, Palestine, Jordan as well, not sure. To born literally means you bury me, as in, I love you so much, I want to die before you do. I know you asked for in another language, but to non-English speakers, English is another language. The English American phrase for having a pointless conversation is shooting the crap. Every time I imagine this one literally, it fricks my brain. This reminds me of my favorite misconception with non-native English speakers, the huge difference between this is crap and this is the crap. In French, to say mind your own business, you can say mêle-toi de tes oignons. It literally means mix your own onions. Actually the literal translation is more concern yourself with your own onions. I worked with a bunch of Serbs that had an expression for having bad luck that translated to if I reached into a bag of pussies, I would pull out a dong. In English I've heard if I fell into a barrel of boobs, I'd come out sucking my thumb. A Czech told me this one developed after years of Nazi Soviet rule. Don't think it. If you think it, don't say it. If you say it, don't write it down. If you write it down, don't sign it. If you sign it, don't be surprised. Timia Daneos et Donia Ferentes. I fear the Greeks even when they bring gifts. When someone is uncharacteristically nice, they want something. That one I have heard of as beware Greeks bearing gifts, that is, the Trojan horse. There's a German expression that translates to what do you think I crap money, also a Russian one that's like I need that, like I need teeth in my butthole. Second one in German would be I need this like a fish needs a bicycle. In Finnish, there's paskanmarjat, which translates to shitberries. I guess you would use it in place of bullcrap. Also, there's one for childhood admiration, from love. Even a horse will kick. Raukodesta hivonenkin potkiai. It's used to taunt little boys who pick on girls because they secretly have a crush on them. The Turkish say a strong will can crap a hole through a stone, meaning you can do the impossible if you believe in yourself. Chinese. Birds won't crap there. If you're talking about a place way out in the boondocks, you know, even birds don't fly over and crap there. Bad egg, bad person, criminal. That's a literal translation of the two words. I've heard bad egg used in English as well, usually by older people. Bahala Nasi Batman and Bahala Nasi Barbie, which roughly translates to leave it to Batman and leave it to Barbie. Tagalog, Philippines version of Jesus take the wheel. I have always interpreted this as a come what may kind of attitude, just letting nature run its course. I'd be more comfortable saying that the rough translation of Bahala Nasi Batman would be Batman is in charge now, in a very joking, easygoing kind of way. A Bosnian friend taught me a saying that translates to look at the moon, there's a rabbit crapping, it pretty much means pee off. Haha. A Farsi, Iranian, 1. The slang word for popcorn is chosefil, which translates literally to elephant's farts. I have no idea why. My Michigander dad once said you're flapping like whippoorwill in a pussy willow swamp, which roughly translates to I'm a crazy old bastard who uses gratuitously folksy sayings. There should be a specific thread for weird expressions dads use. When I was a kid and being too loud, my dad would say they can hear you from here to Shabugama. Pronounced Shabugamu. Love the guy, but WTF dad. One of my favorites in German for beating around the bush is den Hessen Bray Reden equals to talk around hot porridge. I like the Swedish word lagom, pronounced almost logon but with an M at the end, since it really can't be directly translated. It's describing a general amount that is just right, no too much or too little. With other words, quite vague. The best example to give is the story of Goldilocks when she tries out the beds. The first one is too hard, the second one is too soft, and the third one is lagom. The closest translation is just right, but it don't come close to describing all the different ways of using lagom. Some other Swedish expressions: if there is room in your heart, there is room for your butt. Mostly used when someone is asking if they can sit down at a crowded table. There is no cow on the ice. No problem. Close the stable door before the horse says hi, if your zipper is open. Jaganaruglarimosan, I sense owls in the swamp. Basically, I sense that something is not quite rigged. In Spanish, at least in Spain, not sure about in Latin America, to cheat on someone is poner los cuernos a alguien, lit. To put the horns on someone. To suck up is hacer la pelota, lit. To do make the ball, like. To let someone bounce you around. And to have sex doggy style is mirar a Cuenca, lit. To look at Cuenca. Cuenca being a city in Spain. In French, to speak French badly translates to parler français comme une vache espagnole, or to speak French like a Spanish cow, literally. In Chilean Spanish, there's a verb for hitting on someone. It comes from the noun jote, which is the word for vulture. Also, you commonly say you grabbed someone or you ate someone to describe making out with someone. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.